tell a friend to tell a friend that that big war between Gen Zs and Millennials is about to start. Make sure you're following us on our socials at TV3 Ghana. You can drop your comments and thoughts on there as well. Let's get right into it. So that strong song by Castro introduces our millennials. I remember very well where I was when that song came on. I was in high school at the time, so I'm not really standing in for the millennials, but yeah, I'll be probably a little bit biased towards them. Let's remind you that the show is brought to you by Techno. So millennials, let me introduce you, Helen, my able co-host. Helen representing the millennials. Woo!
Can you feel it?
Come on. And then of course we have Precious as well. Precious, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. It's good to have you. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we were born ready. We were born earlier as well, so we're so ready. We're too ready.
Let's remind them what the difference is. So, millennials were born between the years 1981 to 1994. So
Yeah.
if you're born between these years, then you are a millennial. And then, of course, let's introduce to you our Gen Zs. Can I have music for them? There you go. Come on. All right. Of course, you know this young lady here, very own, our TV's very own, Rosie, and as well, Moses. Welcome, Gen Z. Moses, why do you have your hands behind you? Acting like a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
You are a good boy, yeah. Anyways, but I've listened to you a couple of times. You sound like a millennial, honestly, but we'll see. Now, we're going to start off by trying to understand how you guys think. So millennials and Gen Z. So Rosie, Moses, Helen, Precious, are you ready?
Ready.
Let's start off. You tell me. Our first thing is going to be, you tell me what comes to your mind first, or the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the following words. So I'm going to start off with the Gen Zs, shall we?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Smartphone.
App.
What?
App.
Ooh. Moses, smartphone? iPhone. Millennials, smartphone?
What is the premise of this particular round?
What's the first thing that comes to your mind? There's no...
Oh, okay.
Should I disclaim?
Any kind of word. Yeah, give us a disclaimer.
Should I disclaim? Okay,
Yes.
so it's really not a competition.
Okay.
We just want to understand the contributions by both generations to the world and how we think.
Okay, I like that.
You know that when we were growing up, our parents criticized us for some of the things we do, and now we are criticizing the Gen Zs for some of the things they're doing.
that is
So we
true.
want to understand who's doing what right and who's doing what wrong. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind, Helen, when you hear smartphone?
I'm thinking scrolling.
Scrolling.
Yeah.
Scrolling. Precious,
Yeah.
you?
Emails.
Emails.
Yes. That's very millennial.
That's very millennial. What about nostalgia?
1990s.
1990s. Nostalgia?
Independence Day celebration.
Independence Day celebrations. Okay. Sound like a millennial. Helen?
So nostalgia, I'm thinking Nintendo, I'm thinking Game Boy, I'm thinking Pokemon, I'm thinking,
You people.
know those small little animal pets that you used to have, the Tamagotchi,
Ooh, that. Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Come on.
All those fathers.
What about you, Precious?
By the fireside.
By the fireside, she says.
Cheche
Absolutely.
Kule, Kwasa Sayo,
Come on.
Kwasa Samu.
Come on. Okay, and what comes to mind when you hear work-life balance? Let's start with the millennials with this one. Work-life balance, what comes to mind?
Nothing comes to mind. It doesn't exist. We've been working
Since.
We
We don't have
tired.
any
No
work-life
work-life balance. What is a work-life balance?
Precious, what about you?
Getting paid salaries.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Get paid.
It's 31st October. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dear, what comes to mind? Work-life balance.
I'd say probably enjoyment after work.
Enjoyment after
enjoyment.
work.
You
What
go
are you
to-
likely to do after work?
Oh, so Oxford Street, the clubs,
Oxford Street.
yeah, restaurants.
Wow.
Just
Rose, what about
Remote jobs.
you? Remote jobs. So be at home and do the work and get paid. So online jobs as
Yeah.
well. Wow.
All of that.
Sounds so cool. What about the last one on streaming?
Streaming.
You guys are probably thinking about rivers and stuff. Streaming.
So Apple Music,
Apple Music.
Play,
Okay. Millennials?
Movies, definitely.
Yeah,
Movies.
binge watching,
Yeah.
again, that kind of vibe.
Sweet. So we now understand how both generations think, okay? Let's get into the conversation proper. So it's more like a debate.
All right.
So
Right.
let's start off with identity and privacy.
Okay.
Okay. when it comes to identity and privacy, which of these generations, is it the millennials or the Gen Zs, would you say are well aware of who they are? Now, we ask this because you find a lot of millennials saying, I'm still trying to find myself. I'm still trying to find myself. We don't know where yourself went to, but I'm still trying to find myself. So when it comes to identity and being private, which of these two generations do you think know who they are and do better at being private, especially online? We start off with millennials.
All right, Precious, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. Millennials, for us, there are new words coming to define what we are now. Before, maybe you have emotions running, you have thoughts running, but there is no definition to it. The word depression is still new to some people. They are still finding out what it is. So there is a balance between actions and emotions. Like it's in a turmoil. So you are just trying to find a balance. So who we are coming into who we are. For millennials, that's what I would say. From the experience that we are coming into who we are based on the labels that have presently been given. Yes, we are coming into who we are.
I wanted to add a tiny bit of something to that, because the Gen Z, they live in a fast-paced world. It's all about trends. Do they know who they are? All they know is that I'm on TikTok and the next dance is it's like robots. Everybody is doing that. We grew up in the throes of, a technological revolution, the millennials. But before we were scrolling on the phones, we were outside, we were exploring, we were interacting on a human level. There's no better way to get to know oneself than without the distractions. Gen Zs don't know who they are. They know what the latest trend is. They know that's it. They are robots. They just move. One person jumps, they all jump. We are the true identity makers. Before there was, like I said, streaming, scrolling, we were in the real world. We're living on planet Earth.
We're more tuned to reality than the Gen Zs
And also,
are.
listen, the obvious thing is that we were also born earlier. It's par for the course that if you're older, you're on a path of discovery, you've already reached a certain side. It just is the case. By virtue of age, we know ourselves. And this isn't a fight that they can attend, unfortunately.
Would you therefore say that our parents were right when they were also saying that, you guys are new, you don't understand, you have to do things this way?
I mean, I keep telling the Gen Zs, if you give them a dance right now, they'll choose. But ask them, what are their core values? Can they tell you? Probably not.
Or will you leave it to them to decide?
But to you, Gen Z?
Okay, so I think longevity, I agree with them. No two ways about it. I think longevity comes with a lot of shared experiences, and these shared experiences give you the opportunity to learn as you go on. Because we're very young people, we are still on that path of self-discovery.
You'll get there. Don't worry, you'll get there.
We are journeying towards finding ourselves. But I also believe that we have bold convictions about some of us who have been able to reach the destination of finding ourselves.
A few.
Yes, we still have bold convictions.
One or two.
Ellen with the rebuttals and interjections. Okay.
Needed.
But we're allowed to do the same?
You are.
Okay,
Absolutely.
that's fine.
You see, if you had experience, you would have already known that. Nobody
right?
tell you. You get me.
One for the millennials, man.
So because some of us have bold convictions about our identity, once we hold on to a certain facet of an identity, we're able to hold on to it and do it really well. But generally, because we've not lived as long as some of our cherished millennials, it's difficult for us to have those shared experiences. And
Interesting.
Give respect where it's due, young ones. Give respect.
Very nice to know.
Yeah.
Rosie, you share the same sentiments?
No, I don't.
You do not? You think that you guys know yourselves better than the millennials do?
Maybe not better than them, but we do know ourselves, and we do know what we're about, and we do know our identity, I would say, because they came before us, they've had their fair share of life, they've been through certain things. But then again, the same technology that's bringing the trends and everything has taught us and has given us opportunity to learn from them. So these people have lived their lives, and then they probably made the mistakes and everything, and they've learned themselves, and they know who they are. But by watching them and also learning from them, we also know who we are. We've been able to identify ourselves. And then I'll say that probably in the past, their parents or your parents can actually tell you what to be or what to do in future. But now, as Gen Zs, I think we have the opportunity. We are blessed with the opportunity to choose what we want to do. So before you even go to become a woman, you know what you want to do in future. There are people that we can actually look up to become who we want to be. So I think that we already know our identity before we even grow up, to become millennials. You already know what we're about. Okay. So I wouldn't agree with
So I agree with you on that.
This was a knockout.
We can all agree that
This was a
they
knockout
have
round.
more
They started off
opportunities.
by conceding that
Gen Zs
they said, we pass to
So we're going to do a vote right now. We'll do the vote. Right? But they're saying that they have more opportunities than millennials had, and we can all agree on
No
that.
problem.
But on the path of identity and privacy online,
Yeah.
I think most of us spoke about identity, but not privacy online.
Yeah.
So with identity, can we all agree that millennials know themselves better than
It's a
Gen
knockout.
Zs? Let's vote. All who agree that millennials
It's
know
a
themselves
knockout.
better, raise my hand.
Better no.
They don't know themselves better.
They don't.
You conceded in the first
I didn't
half.
say that.
I implore you,
Say that.
change your mind.
I didn't concede.
Answer,
We have an
answer,
advantage
answer.
of
Oh, I'm
longevity. So you agree?
And a half.
It was a knockout.
It's a half and half.
It was a knockout.
Oh my
What
God.
about privacy online?
Privacy, fine, they are bold, they are forthcoming. But then the way in which they are forthcoming, some of them, it's not, what do I call it? It's not grounded. So it's, as it swiftly comes, it swiftly leaves. And then the repercussions sometimes are not repairable. Let's say the exposure, fine, you are exposed. If you do not take your time to bring yourself out and learn the measures in which you need to, appropriately deliver yourself or whatever message you have, before you know it, you tumble and fall. And the fall is quite huge. But for us, we protect our privacy. We come out slowly. We are like gas burners, like we flow slowly.
Yeah.
But the electric, boom, and then it just goes out.
I
mean,
do not agree with that.
have
But the
privacy.
only reason why they come up slowly is because they're not used to our system. We know the system.
There is an hour.
Oh,
I
come
mean,
on.
I wanted to say about the privacy. How many times have you seen a Gen Z come with me to go to the bathroom? A day in the life as I go to the hospital.
No, but
Come with
aside
me.
that,
I mean,
we
there's
show you what you
nothing
want
that
to
a Gen
do.
Z
Get ready
will
with
not
me.
do. Get ready with me as I go to my funeral. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Is there no limit to
same
which Gen
stuff.
Zs will spare
There's no
us?
privacy.
There is a limit. From an era where-
The challenge is that the disparities between the platforms they had access to during their time and ours, what we have right now allows us the luxury.
So you
of
must show
saying-
us everything. Come
Yeah,
with me to
no,
the
but
show
the
you
thing
what
is,
you-
we are not even
we
showing
show
you
you what
everything. We are
you
showing
want
what
to-
you
you're not
want
showing us
to
enough.
see.
We are showing
We're not
us
showing you
too
everything.
much.
Nah.
What is the measurement for
One
too
house,
much?
one house, one
Okay.
house. Is that to say that
It's
the
one house,
millennials-
one wall, Godwin. It's a wall.
Is that to say that millennials would have done same if they had
Oh,
the
come on.
definitely.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Godwin, I'm
Yes.
going to rope you in here.
Hold on, Helen. I want to hear Helen.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to rope you in here. I think that, we have older millennials and younger millennials.
millennials, yeah.
Boomers.
I had an email address from as early as something as 9, 10 years old. So much in line with what I see Gen Zs of this time going through. Maybe I'm a little bit of a younger millennial, if you will. I told you I grew up with the internet. And even then, we had the likes of High Five when
Yes.
Facebook was...
Yes,
was
before
No,
Facebook.
never would somebody take... I do know High Five.
Black
Exactly. Never would somebody take
was
high
high
five,
five.
and then go and spill. If the Gen Zs had high five then, they would go, today, let me tell you what I ate. Let me tell you what is in my
Okay,
intestine. They
okay.
overshare. They don't know about privacy and staying
Point made.
safe.
Point made. Moses or Rose.
Okay,
Rosie.
so the proliferation of social media platforms during their time is not compared to what we have now. And these platforms make it easy for us to share content. One of the innate characteristics of Gen Z is that we're very expressive. And so that falls in line with some of the things that we do. They, because of the fact that they come from a different viewpoint, we see it as oversharing.
Exactly.
But we're expressive and bold, and we are not afraid of sharing our convictions about
Beautiful.
anything and sharing parts of our lives that we want the whole world to see.
So let's do
That
a vote
doesn't-
right now. Are Gen Zs better at managing privacy than millennials?
Absolutely not.
Not.
No, I think we are. I think
no,
we are. Because
I'm-
again,
I think they
again,
concede.
we spoke about exposure, right?
Yeah.
We are exposed to so many things. We are, in a way, open to making certain mistakes, right? And for that reason, we are extra careful. We know what we are doing.
Careful.
Okay.
Do you understand?
So we have a split vote. You don't think that Gen Zs are better at managing
Godwin,
privacy?
You know they wouldn't agree with that. You know they wouldn't agree with that.
I'm just a
Not
moderator.
even you think that. And I'm glad that you conceded in the first half.
my God.
He said that we have so
Godwin,
many
can
apps,
we
and the
leave?
Okay.
apps make it
Okay.
so easy for you. That means that you don't have your own innate
No.
conviction. If it takes, there's so many apps, so I'm just going to go with it. That means Gen
what I'm
Zs have
saying.
no
No.
restraints. They have no control. They're out of
And
control.
we are
that's why
seeing
they're
it.
showing
We are seeing
everything.
it. Yes.
Because we
seeing
don't
everything.
say,
They're not
those
showing
guys think it's
everything.
everything
Okay.
because you didn't have the
Okay.
luxury of
We have
doing
a
the same.
split vote.
And as they would say, period.
Thank you. Okay. Which of these two generations are mentally strong? Or mentally stronger?
Can I
Is mentally
take it?
stronger?
Gen Z.
Can I
Yes. Mentally stronger.
Mentally stronger. It's the millennials.
Okay.
I say that because we have building blocks. Yes, we gradually build blocks. So in every phase, you build blocks. So you build a block for each trauma that comes. So when it hits you, you know how to handle it. When you build things slowly, you take your time. But then when you do it so fast, you can see from the internet, the way they break down, they even come with their phones crying, the breakdown is there. How can you even record the breakdown?
Yes,
when
while
it
you're
hits
crying
you.
and filming it. Okay.
Exactly.
But who says it's a breakdown? Who says it's a breakdown?
The information.
It is content.
Guys,
You
hold on.
literally cry and
Hey, guys.
record,
Hold on,
and
hold
you
on,
guys
hold on.
enjoy it.
I'll use the microphone. So hold on. Your response, please.
You said it's
Mentally
content.
stronger.
Okay, so I believe that if you look at the current pressures of social media and what we've had to live through, some of the experiences we've had to live through, I believe that young people, Gen Zs, are mentally stronger because of the way we are handling some of these things. Because during their time,
For example.
Yeah.
during their time, I don't think cyberbullying was a thing during their time.
Cyberbullying?
They did not.
It was real life.
They did not have. They didn't experience phenomenon
No
like
interjection, no
cyberbullying.
interjection, no interjection.
But-
no interjection.
Godwin, I must.
Hold on, please.
But I must.
I want him to land. Moses, go ahead.
We have to endure the physical bullying you're referring to, and also endure
Cyberbullying.
increased levels of cyberbullying.
But
And we-
like
and we-
that is not to say millennials do not get cyberbullying.
That's
No,
not,
but
that's
comparatively,
not
which
being
of these
private.
which two demographics use social
Okay.
media platforms more?
Okay.
Which of these two groups are more likely to get
Gen Zs.
cyberbullying
Man, God,
because
I'm
of
ready
the
for you.
content?
Gen Zs.
You get the
Gen
point?
Zs. Gen Zs.
So we have had to live through that, and also, if you look at the expectations from these millennials and Gen Alpha, that we have to carry, because if you look at the patterns they've already established, you have to go to these schools, you have to get these grades, you have to do all these things. We carry all those burdens and still walk through life like nothing is happening. So for me, I think Gen Zs are mentally stronger. All the things we've had to deal with, all the times people have looked down on us because of our ages, extra, we've had to shoulder those burdens, and still we are still here. So
What I'm hearing from you is that you receive more bullying, you receive more challenges. But the
Comparatively.
question is, who's mentally stronger? It's one thing to receive it, it's another thing to handle it.
How do you
Who
handle
handles challenges better?
Thank you. So if you look at the quantum of pressure we receive, and you look at the fact that if she referred to the fact that because we share content of videos of people crying and all that, that means that people are not handling that is moot, because the fact that people share it online, we are content driven. We share it as content. It doesn't mean that people are unable to handle it. We've seen people who share videos
But
online.
it should be believable. That's what I mean.
Hold on, guys, hold on.
Their problem is that.
Hold on.
Yes.
Let me tell you what the problem is. Their problem is that
Whose
they do not-
problem?
The millennials.
You knew that right now.
The problem is that they don't understand the technological age we are in. So for
Like
them,
that. We made
everything we
this
do,
race.
you know,
The queue is
so they believe.
millennial.
We started the
Helen,
race.
hold on.
No, you can start but not understand it.
Yeah.
So,
You knew that. You knew
Hold on to
that.
that thought, hold on to that thought. Guys, we're discussing millennials versus Gen Z, who's more adept to certain challenges, who's contributing to the world better. We'd like to hear from you. Do so on our socials at TV3 Ghana. We are streaming live. You can do so on Facebook at TV3 Ghana, on Twitter as well, or X. Now we call it X, Gen Z Space. And then there's also our WhatsApp number, which we will put on the screen for you. The comments coming in are very interesting. Sadofia Kofi says that very intelligent discussions. Thank you very much, Sadofia. Mavis Apia says, Rosie is so beautiful and intelligent. Well said.
Samoa Gen Z.
Like a Gen Z. Gen Z is clearly coming from a Gen Z.
Thank you, babes. Period.
Flora Fia says that the millennials are too aggressive.
They are.
Yeah. We've been through some one or two. Right? We've been through life. We've been through life.
Yes.
but they're handling the pressure better. We're not.
We haven't started giving you pressure. They don't have worries.
When's the kneel down? When's kneel down right now?
Respect.
Shuli Bay says, I'm enjoying this. Thank you very much, Shuli. Padita Oduro says, learning and laughing at the same time. Thank you, Padita, for letting us know. He says, having fun there. A few more coming in. Bing Anna says, Precious, I like your experience of sharing. Yeah,
Thank you.
know, this is coming from a millennial.
Is your other ring finger is free? So.
Flora also says that this woman is saying, that's why the millennials remain silent and depressed.
You see,
Gen Z, Gen Zs rather speak up and air their views.
You two, you lay
Hence,
down.
they are
Yes,
opinionated. Very interesting. Our phone lines, no phone lines, but our WhatsApp number is also open, so you can send us a message 0264319423, 0264319423. Back to the conversation.
Yes. I just wanted to have a rebuttal because I know Precious had her bits and the Gen Zs did as well,
Please.
but I've never had a weak response as to why Gen Zs say they have better mental fortitude or that they're stronger. Somebody said something to you online, I want my mother. No, we used to meet outside. Meet me at 2. Meet me outside at 2 p.m. and then you'll know what is real bullying. Listen, millennials have survived 3 recessions, okay? At the turn of the millennium, we had the Twin Tower attacks in the US, and that was the dawn of real terrorism. We've had to live through some real trauma, not online bullying and
Real
trolling
trauma.
and period, real life experiences that have made us fortified. So I think for Gen Z, on the internet, there's
meet you outside
hashtag
and
I'm
bully you as well.
scared.
We don't do that. We don't bully people.
You bully right
Oh, no, not at all.
We are fortified.
Allowing
We
them
should be fortified.
to express
Build.
themselves, you
Let's
know.
wrap. Let's wrap.
Call me
up this.
and-
We have so much to talk about on this one. We are skipping finances and all that. But let's talk relationship. Which of these 2 generations are better at managing friendships and relationships? Starting off with the Gen Zs.
Okay, so I think Gen Z is
Gen
doing a better
Zs.
job.
They're doing a better job.
Yes, they're doing a better
at
job.
managing friendship and relationships. Okay.
You guys shock.
Please go ahead. I'm listening, please.
So, and these are personal experiences, so that's what's going to shape the reasoning. I believe that when you take a look at the social interactions that Gen Zs have with their colleague Gen Zs and other people who are within different demographics, because of our vibrant personalities and the way that we express our opinions, the way that we are not afraid to communicate how we feel, our thought processes, etc., etc., it goes a very long way to secure the sanctity of relationships. But if you take a look at what the millennials do, especially because I'm referring to the people who I am in direct contact with. Usually it's like you live in a military environment where if they say 1, you say 2, there is no opportunity for you to have like beautiful discourses with each other. There's nothing like that. Gen Z see each other, we talk, we express our opinions, we tell you how it is, then there's honest feedback from both sides. But millennials, everybody's too prim and proper. People hate you behind the scenes, and they're there. They can't tell you, but it's extra. But for Gen Zs, because we're very expressive, and because communication is one of the biggest foundations of good relationships,
Right now.
it helps us a lot.
Interesting point.
Additionally, in the era that we live in, look at the social media platforms. We've mastered it, and so keeping in touch with other.
It's easy.
It's very easy.
Way
Very
easier.
easy.
Touch with
Yeah.
other people.
We can text on Snapchat, we can text on WhatsApp. We are always in touch with each other and making sure that the sparks of friendship always remain alive. Yeah.
Our producers are very kind, giving us extra time to talk about this.
It's necessary.
The way you guys were calm, I could tell that you were agreeing with what Moses was saying.
They're
right?
eloquent, substance-wise, just as they lack in the relationship department. Some of that was lacking in this current submission. Okay, and I'll tell you why.
And we're seeing more Gen Zs getting married than we're seeing millennials. Millennials are
How about
entering
that?
the
I would
40s.
explain that.
You explain that.
Yes.
You have an explanation.
No, but I think the formula for that is simple. You heard from Gen Zs. They said because there's so many apps, we are kind of forced to do things that we don't want to do.
No one is forced to do anything.
You know, they go with
No,
the
that's not what he
trend.
said.
He said he
It's
go
clear
with the
millennials will never
trend.
understand.
They never understand.
They'll never understand.
Who said that? They don't want to understand
I
us.
like to hear
Looking
that.
at the trends,
like to
he
hear
said that they are quick to communicate. So the same way you can communicate a yes to a proposal and get married is the same way you can quickly communicate a no to a divorce. So if you look at the numbers, as much as it is rising in marriages, it is equally rising in divorces.
And the divorce part
Yes.
is on you guys, the millennials. You,
You know
guys are
something
getting
that
divorced.
is-
It's not the
you know
Gen Z.
something that is very
You guys are
interesting.
getting divorced.
asked
It's
about
We
not-
have to
relationship.
call the
We
Gen
haven't come
Zs,
to that
We're
yet.
going to give the Gen Zs a new name. They're called scissors. You know why? Every 2 days, I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to cut you off.
Thank you.
Period. Cut off,
Yes.
cut off, cut off.
Ooh,
They might
that
as well
kind.
be called
Yes.
scissors. Every 2 days, you go on the social
Actually.
media.
I mean, you
I'm
need to
telling
cut
you
people
what.
off.
And then he spoke about
but-
Hold on, Rose,
connections.
please.
But
I like to hear them.
he
Hold on.
didn't speak about sustainability of the
That's
connections.
why we said managing relationships. So
Yes.
would you agree with what the millennials are saying, that they manage relationships better because for them, through thick and thin, they are standing?
But that does not mean you're managing
No.
relations better.
What does it
no,
mean?
No.
Okay.
So the goal is to always look out for yourself and make sure that you're in the right.
Speaking like a true Gen Z.
No, you have to go
Hashtag scissors gang. Hashtag scissors
right
gang.
space.
Me,
No, you are. If you are in a toxic relationship, are you saying that because? No, are you saying because?
Send the words.
Are you saying because you are managing your relationship, you stay?
You still stay there and get hurt?
That is why they suffer a lot in their
Values.
relationship.
Exactly.
So they quietly suffer in their
I have a
relationship.
question for
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
You realize that most of our parents stay together for a long time.
Obium.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the reasons why they stayed together for a long time was because of us, because of the children. So you do agree that maintaining, sustaining a relationship, I hear these words, toxic and all that. We hear you. But would you say that being able to maintain and sustain a relationship is very key so that people like you, people like me, will be here? Do you agree?
So there are always foundational reasons for which we cut off people. We don't
Exactly.
just wake up one
There's a
morning.
reason
Yes.
why you cut off
Yes,
people.
there must be a very cogent reason for you to cut off someone.
You don't
And
think your dad had a reason to leave your mom? Not you directly, but I'm saying you don't think they had reasons, very tangible reasons to have left the relationship?
No, if they did, they would have left.
If they did, they would have left.
Yes.
It was boiling
Yes,
over.
if they
It
did,
was
they would have
boiling
left.
over. They would have.
But it didn't.
I'm sure.
It was managed
I'm sure if
different,
Helen
yes.
is in a relationship,
We haven't had the
in a
opportunity
relationship
to
and her
talk about
partner
what we
is
think
beating
about
her, she'll be-
relationships, managing relationships. We haven't had the opportunity.
You did have your opportunity.
I think you
He
fell
said
in love.
nothing.
I think you fell in love with our submission.
No, we have to manage it. And then he mentioned the fact that we
our
have
key
several
word-
apps that helps us to check up on people, that helps
We
us to like,
haven't
keep in touch and
spoken.
all of that. That also comes when like that also
haven't
comes
spoken.
in
Ellen,
when
have
we have
we
to manage
spoken?
relationships and all of that.
Okay,
So
the disease are not allowing the. Okay.
yeah, we are. You are being biased right now. We allow them talk, and then when it's our turn, they don't
Give a
allow
man
us. So
enough
you are
rope
being
and he'll
biased.
hang himself. You see it now. They drop the word toxic.
Let's get on the phone, shall we?
Let's do that.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Mercy. I'm calling from Maladi.
Messi from Alajo. Please go ahead. Who do you side with, millennials or Gen Z?
Millennials are correct.
Okay. Are you a millennial?
Give it up.
They are emotional. In fact, these new people don't even know what they are on about.
The Gen Zs.
Millennials are mentally strong. We are able to manage relationships. We always want to maintain our space. And like Helen said, we don't go about putting our business out there because they've made us understand that, privacy is very important. Even if you are married, you still have your marriage to protect. But with them, everything is out there. Whatever their husband is eating, we need to know.
Okay.
We don't want everybody in our business. That's why we manage ourselves privately. So yes, they are saying what they want to say, social media, but they can't even defend things that they say on social media.
You can't defend it.
They are mentally weak.
Okay.
Seriously. So
Messi.
this competition, obviously, millennials will win. Simple.
Okay.
Tell them.
Messi, you're a millennial. Okay, I understood. Messi from Alajo, thank you very much for that call. It's okay, let's settle it.
No,
I didn't
it's
hear
fine.
I didn't hear your side when it came to relationship.
We
managing
have a
relationship.
lot to say,
Please,
but we will
keep it
summarize
brief,
it.
yes.
Respecting the time, as millennials do. Okay. So, what the key word I want to use is sustainability.
Okay.
Yes, if something can be sustained, then it's equally good. Pass through the test of time. So, if you can quickly make a run for a $5,000 and then whoom, it's gone. You cut it off. But then you have $3,000 and you can multiply $3,000 by carefully maintaining it. Relationships, we are humans. Relationships make us grow. If you have a good relationship, everything around you grows. So if you have good relationship with your sisters, with your girls, with your boyfriend, with your fiance, everything around glows because there's support. So you don't just up and say, we communicate on Facebook. We communicate. That's not it. I have relationships that have been sustained for over years. My childhood friend is still my girl. She called me before I came in here. She spoke to me. My girls back from uni, they are my squad. Like, there are people that are squad for, it's been 12 years, but they are still my squad.
you use social
We
media to
talk
keep in touch
every
with them.
day. So, no,
How do you keep in touch with them?
But using social media to keep in
No, I
touch
didn't
doesn't
debunk
mean-
the fact that social media is
she
part
started off
of
by
our
debunking
time.
that.
But that's what she said.
That's what
That we use social
I think I get your
media
point.
to keep in
Yes.
touch.
I get
That's
it.
what
I
she
get it.
said.
Relax,
Well,
relax,
Young
relax,
man,
relax.
calm down.
I said
This was gonna
that we
happen.
don't only use
Precious.
social media
But
to
you-
get in
you use it.
contact. We
Don't
meet.
you?
We
But it's
do.
not
We use
only.
it. Yes.
I didn't know it's your big sister.
We started social media. Thank you.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we
we
started
started it.
social media.
Clearly don't understand.
Yes.
When you say that,
We clearly do not
Yeah, you don't
understand.
What
social media.
players? You need
No problem.
space.
No problem. No problem. But you know,
So we sustain it
we're
and
gonna
it manages it.
No, we can't. Don't let them
Take a break.
brace
We're going to do a part 2 of this conversation.
Let them raise
Okay.
your briefing.
We're going to do a part 2 of this conversation. Please relax. All right, so let's go to Kumasi, talk to Manasseh. Manasseh, good afternoon and welcome to the afternoon show.
Good afternoon.
Please share your comments briefly.
So please, I'm on the side of the Gen Zs. We know how to manage relationships, and that's on period.
Okay, thank you very much. Or do you want to say something else?
No, they usually
Okay. You keep it brief. Lastly.
Yeah,
By
exactly.
popular request, we're going to have this conversation again and
Yes.
even longer.
All right.
But just to wrap it all up, is there any point where you guys agree that the other generation is better than the other?
I have to give props to Gen Zs, and this was a healthy debate. We have 2 very intelligent Gen Zs in the house, but I have to say Gen Zs are very courageous and and that's something that other generations, millennials, boomers, can emulate, you know, to not be too worried about what the world has to say. But they can also learn a thing or two from millennials. Sometimes just slow down. Slow down.
You see, millennials will finish by giving you advice. What about you? Is there anything you think that they are better at than you guys are?
I think I mentioned earlier that they have the experience and everything, and then we are fortunate to have them share some of the experiences, so we get to learn from them. I feel like whether you like it or not, you have to learn something from someone. Do you understand? So some ways they're good. There's growth. There's maturity. There's growth. There's maturity. Even in the way they will talk to you, you understand? But if a Gen Z has a problem and she shares it with another Gen Z, it's going to be, bruh, just leave.
So they are better communicators.
Yeah, and I
They are
think
better communicators.
they are better problem solving. Yes, because they've lived through life. Yes, so that is why they share advice a lot, because most of the things we are now going through, they've lived through it.
Maybe moving forward, we'll get better.
But I think my problem with them is that
Problem again?
Yes.
Please,
Senior,
we
it's
don't
okay.
have a problem.
We don't have that problem. We don't have the time. We don't have the time, guys. Thank you so much.
I have a problem with
It's okay. We'll talk about it. Moses, Precious, Moses, Rosie, Helen, Precious. Thank you so much. Hug each other. We give you the privilege to hug. So hug them. Hug each other.
Come here, baby. Come
We'll be right back. Please take a break.